Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom what the truth is, with our hearts uncovered. Boy, detox from all of the lies you smothered. What I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goals regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you fearing, and watch it all rise. The righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring, because it's unseen. The mind is too barren. They won't even heal it. They pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing, what you retrieving. Mentally speaking, life that they breathing. No words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the trial with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt or disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace. I want to start off by asking a question. Have you ever caught yourself reaching or reacting like your life was in danger? Like your chest is tightening, shortness of breath. Your mind hits in a fight or flight. You have to run or you have to fight. You're stuck in this trauma loop. It's not weakness. It's wiring. It's trauma. It changes the brain. It creates loops, shortcuts that once kept you alive, now trapping you in survivor mode. That's PTSD. Not just memory, but the entire highway in the brain that keeps rerouting traffic back to fear. The powerful truth is this: the same brain that builds those trauma loops can also build new loops of calm, peace, and healing. Tonight, we're diving into the systematic loops of the natural diversion shaped by PTSD and how we can begin to break free. And I am Universe Badger, and we have
Moon Tortoise.
Moon Tortoise, and
Moon
we
Tortoise.
also had other people, but they disappeared. We had Secrets of the Moon. We have DDH the Bubble.
Bloop.
We had SGF Graham. He may come back on. And we had Secrets of the Moon, and she too may come back on.
Secrets of the Moon, very elusive. Does not want us to know the secrets, but when spilled, they're good.
They're good.
So I do hope she come back. So PTSD, yeah, trauma, bad place. Though what you explained in the beginning, you know, I was having panic attacks, severe ones for a period of time. So yeah, agree.
I don't know who this good-looking fella is. Hello, good-looking fella. This person. Look at her. Oh, she disappeared again. Secrets of the Moon is quiet, isn't she? She comes in and leaves quick.
No.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. But yeah, a lot of people think that PTSD is drama and just bad memories and just pain. They don't realize that
stress.
Yeah, and they don't realize it comes from a lot of things about our brain does. The memory we're wiring, our wiring of thinking that we have to fight. We have to survive. We have to do this. We have to. Let's see if we can see her this time. Hello, good looking. Can you hear us? Look at her. Secrets of the Moon. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because we couldn't hear you.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm
Is
good.
your head wrap mint green? I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I like that. That's a good color on you.
Thank you.
So we're talking about tonight about PTSD and rewiring our brain because we cause a highway of loops of stress and trauma in trying to diversion tactics of how to get rid of that.
Questions.
What do you think? What do you think? Secrets of the Moon, PTSD. Can you relate?
Yes. What was the question initially?
There was no question initially. I just said tonight we're talking about PTSD.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna relate to PSD.
And we have
SGF.
SGF Graham.
Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Tonight we're going to talk about the systematic loops of neurodiversion and PTSD. And we're going to talk about how to rewire our brain from fight or flight and always in trouble.
Okay.
So we're going to get in the first question.
Want me to read off the first question, Badger?
I do.
I can't wait. So, do you believe daily habits and repeated practices can rewire the brain the same way trauma did in the first place?
We're going to start off by asking SGF Graham.
Most definitely. That's what I do. I practice things that I want to incorporate into my situation until the point I don't have to practice it anymore. So yeah, definitely I would say yeah.
Secret to the moon.
Yes, I would practice as well. Being repetitive about the things that you practice, and always add meditation with things as well.
So I had a thing with Gilly beforehand, before the show, and I asked her, I said, so what are the steps? Gilly said the first step is recognizing it. And then you gotta, once you recognize it, you have to sit in it. And then you have to realize what was the outcome from the last time of that repeated behavior. And what did you get out of it? And now you have to wire your brain to see something different, to have a different outcome. And I like that, because that's what you have to do. And it does start off with small things. It starts off with, we all have triggers when we're healing. Now, recognize them is the first step to anything for recovery. You have to recognize. Isn't that what they teach us, Moon Tortoise?
Recognizing you have a problem, I would suggest that first. That's what they do indeed. So. I don't know how the hell you do it the other way.
Me neither.
Some people just kind of do it.
And then once we recognize the problem, we have to figure out a different solution. Yet our mind is telling us, stick with what you know, stick with what you know, stick with what you know, stick with what you know. Run, 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 fight, fight, run, run, survive, survive, fight, fight, survive, survive. What's another?
So you know what
what's another? Go ahead.
What's another question?
No, I'm asking
you to.
I'm asking you to finish my sentence.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't know if we were moving on to the next question. If you do habitual, when you get locked into habitual, like things become habitual, like fight or flight when you're trying to run and fight and stuff. We often tend to focus on that negative aspect of it, but we can make positive things a habitual practice, and still like doing yoga or thinking the right way. And once you start thinking positive, like even just thinking 3 positive things when you wake up or 3 things you're grateful for, that will rewire your brain into thinking positive. It's not impossible. It's just we tend to kind of focus on negatives a lot of the time.
Gilly, welcome.
Peace, peace. How are you?
All is truly well. So I was talking about what we talked about before the show, and about you mentioned that you got to recognize the situation within the trauma. You got to recognize the trigger. And what did you say the next step was?
Notice the patterns and do something differently.
What do you suggest? What do you suggest one of the things that you could do differently?
Removing yourself from a situation that continues to bring up those traumas and those triggers. Be mindful of what you need in that moment, and find ways to give them to yourself, or to find people who are willing to support you in those, that are respectful of those triggers. And I think breathing, counting. I know, for instance, one of my kids suffered some trauma from actually one of their siblings' trauma. And So for him, something that really helped was counting, was doing Fibonacci patterns, and and it sort of got the mind, into another place. And then afterwards, we were able to talk about what was bothering him. If in children, play, I think, is really important, but I think in adults, play could be important too, or creativity of some sort, finding another outlet rather than just disassociating. Because I think that for me in particular, disassociation has been a main symptom of mine, particularly in the last few years, as I just sort of observe my own body rather than actually being in the moment. And so activities that force you to go through the feelings, but have a more productive outlet. I know, Henry, you write music a lot, um, painting, drawing, things like that. And something that I've not been real good at, but I need to get better at is living, just living. And I'm gonna step back for a second and let the other panelists go.
Okay. So what's the next question, Henry? Or Moon Tortoise? Sorry.
You can call me whatever tortoise name you want. That's okay. Have you ever noticed yourself reacting to a small stressor like it was life or death?
Secrets of the Moon.
You're in and out a little bit. What was the question?
Have you ever noticed yourself reacting to a small stressor like it was life or death?
Have I experienced a small
She's out now.
stressor
Oh dear, that's
that
what you can hear.
felt like life?
You're
Yes,
going in.
I have.
You're going in.
And that has brought PTSD, which is it can be anything, small things, and they really aren't a big deal. But because we're so traumatized, we make those things into real big deals. Um,
Oh
so
dear,
just
cutting out.
recognizing, like you said, the patterns, and find explore other options, other reactions, other feelings, other emotions, things like that.
I don't know if you can hear us, but your signal is terrible. You half of everything you said come in, and then the other half didn't. So I'm gonna ask SJF Graham the same question. SJF Graham.
Oh dear. I won't freak out. We won't freak out over bad connections. No. Even though it makes you wanna.
Gilly's with
I
us.
have
You're
a real
okay.
good example of something that I do less now, but I used to do a lot more. Um, one of my traumas was abandonment trauma, particularly following a real particularly following a violent event in which I spoke out and wasn't believed. Um, Following my initial separation, and when people either didn't believe me or didn't seem to be taking what I was saying seriously, or ignoring me, I would start reaching out and texting, and I would text over and over. I think the longest I ever texted someone was for 9 hours straight, trying to explain my situation, explain what I needed, explain what was going on with the kids and what they needed, explain what was happening, and essentially beg them to hear me, to take me seriously. I now am better at it, but in general, if there's somebody who they don't text back right away, um, or I don't hear from them right away, and there's two triggers. One is I've lost people in my life from sudden death. Um, so I have a lot of fears and triggers around that. Um, and two is the abandonment thing, somebody mischaracterizing me or maybe not understanding me. And so even though there are millions of reasons somebody may not respond immediately, one being people are autonomous beings and they don't always have to or want to respond, and I am aware of that. Um, but to me, my mind can immediately go to, is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Is there something wrong with them? Are they safe? Are they, what's going on? What happened? Did I not explain myself okay? So I think that's an example of one way that my PTSD in particular um, has turned things that are not necessarily a big deal at all into the end of the world until I get some sort of reassurance that it's not. And that seeking reassurance has become a pretty toxic, maladaptive behavior in what could have otherwise been good relationships.
I like that. I can receive that. SGF Graham, are you with us? No.
He's
Moon
doing
Tornado.
SGF Grand stuff. Yes.
So what is your answer to this?
It's interesting. I could say something. Let's say, have you ever blown up at something small? Have you ever yourself reacting to a small stressor like it was life or death? Yeah. And for a time in my life, I used to just drink about it, bring it up. I guess I waited 24 minutes. But when I quit drinking, I realized that things meant more to me, and I really blew up, like cried over spilled milk. Um, which interestingly you can do depending on your level of poverty. It's absolutely okay. But yeah, it's I still do it, and I'm really learning to cope with it better by breathing and stepping back and assessing the situation. I did want to take this opportunity to say that identifying triggers that put you in these positions is a good thing. You'll notice that things set you off. I mean, and we tend to accept them. Like, I'm going to stare at Facebook and get mad at the same things over and over again. I'm going to open Facebook and know I'm going to get mad looking at the same things over and over again. You could just in turn not do that. And it does open up kind of new pathways. We got a word that gets thrown around a lot nowadays is triggered, I think. And not for the reasons you might think. You know, when you think triggered, I think a lot of people are putting that word onto like blue-haired new age people whining about stuff. Or, you know, we're lumping into that category, but we're not sitting here looking at, you know, the combat veteran who I knew, many of them who you'd throw a firecracker next to them after their tour and they would cower. And I spent the night underneath the table with a buddy drinking Jack Daniels while we both cried together. You don't think about that. You don't think about firemen and police officers, not first responders who go through things and see terrible things. That's where the word triggered, you know, and they drink. One of the hardest posts I ever read on Facebook was a guy saying, I'm going to drink tonight. I'm going to drink tonight because I'm a crime scene investigator. And what I saw tonight with the body and everything was so much that I'm going to drink. And there's nothing anyone can do on Facebook. That's what I'm going to do. And that shit hit me. So it's good to identify what's destroying you and try to avoid those things. Breathe your way through it and find alternative pathways. That way you're not blowing up over small things and putting that stress on yourself. Giving yourself crow's feet and shit.
Do you guys remember? You remember Gerald Moon Tortoise? My business consultant who did the screen print. Kind of
screen printer, yeah.
So
you say the profession.
He was in the military, in the army, and every time he's seen a paper bag in the road, he had PTSD because he thought that the paper bag was a bomb. Knowing that it wasn't a bomb, he knew it was a paper bag, but his mind went right to the time he was in the war. And that paper bag is his life and his death. And he had he constantly had to remind himself that he's not in that situation no more. He's not dealing with that no more. That is probably 9 million gazillion chances of that being a bomb. Slim to none.
Yeah.
And yet every time he gets in the vehicle and he sees a paper bag in the road, he freaks out. So I said that to say this. Rewiring our brain would be the hardest thing we have to do. Like grieving is first and foremost. You have to find that trigger, allow that to hit you and sit with you and grieve it. We cannot remove it until we grieve. We cannot remove anything in life until we grieve it. We have to be able to allow that emotion to come through us. No one said don't have no feelings whatsoever when you're going through the situation. It may seem life-threatening to you at that moment. So let it be. Allow that emotion to come through you. Allow it to be what it is to you. It's how you react on it. That's the power. That's the power. So instead of going off the road and hitting another car next to him, now he goes over the bag with his heart going da 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 da. Yet he's reminding himself that he's not in danger anymore.
Not easy.
And it's not. Definitely not. Definitely not. Because our mind only knows one thing. And that's patterns of pain. That's repeated cycles of trauma. Our mind is a tool. Our mind is a tool, and it's not supposed to do the thinking for us. Our nerve endings does the thinking for us. Our heart does the thinking for us. Our mind just knows things. I watched a movie called The Companion. I don't know if anybody's seen it or heard of it. And the guy said, put your hand over the flame to the girl. And she was a robot, and she did. And he said, you feel the pain? And she said, yes. And as she's sitting there, it's burning away this fake skin on her arm because she's a robot. So it's burning away all that. And she can't do anything about it because he told her to put her hand there. That's what we give our power to our brain. We give that power to our brain, even though we know better. And we allow our brain to put us in this fight or flight mode all the time, where we have to either fight or run. And we have to be able to remove that. We have to be able to own that and say, no, that is not what I see now. What's the next? SGF Graham, are you back yet? SGF Graham.
He gone.
He is.
Oh, that's okay. I'll jump on to the next one.
What's the next question?
When you are triggered, do you feel it more in your body or your thoughts?
Secrets of the Moon. When you're triggered, do you think with your body or your thoughts? Secrets of the Moon's gone.
Oh, dang.
Gilly, when you're triggered, do you think with your body or your thoughts?
It's not an either or for me.
Okay.
I think it's a both for me. There are certain things, for instance, if I notice somebody is angry, or maybe bothered by something, I definitely feel that in my body first, but then I will automatically go to my head. I will automatically go to my thoughts. And I think that probably in the moment, I feel it in my body, and I can't always even explain it to people. There was an instance where I could see the pattern. I could predict that something bad was going to happen if I didn't get out of there. And I tried reaching out to somebody, and was dismissed. I was ignored, and sure enough, that thing ended up happening. So that's an example of feeling it in my body. Another one is I would blow up, meaning swell in different areas of my body, get really bad hives. Sometimes the fluid would get so bad that blood vessels would pop. I'd lose control of my bladder. Things like that, things, childish that are almost, but then afterwards, I think I've been in a perpetual state of letting it be in my head. I am constantly going.
And now she's gone.
Constantly going out. Man. Damn.
That was quick. So and Kendall Cobb said in her mind, mostly, she feels it in her mind first, mostly. So what do you think? What is your moon tortoise? Do you feel it in your mind or do you feel it? Oh, she's back. Nope, she's not. It says she is, but I can't bring her on.
Trouble.
Where do you feel it? In your mind or in your body?
It's kind of weird. I'm sure you feel it more in your body. I don't know how to answer that. I'm really uneasy and feel terrible all the time, to be honest. I feel good about a lot of things, like certain things, but fuck it, PTSD and certain things that I try to get through, like eating. To this day, eating is so impossibly hard for me. I can't chew food a lot of the time. I buy smoothies and applesauce and squeeze packets so I can squeeze into my mouth in the morning so I can just eat food. And that's lingering shit from when I was younger. I I was having panic attacks when I was younger, and I was actually, I don't know. It felt so bad that I would make it physical. I would start self-harming. I would chew on my arm and beat my little brother with my right hand. I would get him because I was so mad about home. And then I discovered I was digging my fingernails into my hands and leaving big gouges into my palms because I was little. So that's when I started chewing my fingernails off. And I still chew my fingernails off. For the vine, I have no fingernails, nail bed exposed. Still something myself I can't stop doing. Uh, and it starts in the mind, but I feel like the mind feeling bad is a physical feeling. It's more like I wake up in the morning, I don't feel good. I have to force myself to be positive and feel good. It really is a struggle, and it feels physically horrible. It makes me feel physically ill. And at the worst, panic attacks have made me bite into my tongue and my mouth would fill with blood. And I would I don't know, dig stress so much that every muscle of my body hurt for days. So, yeah, I don't know. Sucks.
So when I was in the state before I was able to control it, because I don't have the reactions anymore of the triggers and all that other stuff anymore. I'm not living in the PTSD trauma loop anymore. I haven't in a long time, and I don't mean a long time like years. I mean a long time like months. So I can't relate to that feeling anymore. But what I had to start doing was knowing that it was going to happen. Because all of a sudden I would feel it in my body first. Everything would start getting hot. Everything would start getting closed in. I would feel like I'm suffocating. And then I could feel my breath and my heart start changing. And I could feel a panic attack coming on before it came on. And I was able to stop it. I was able to control it. I was able to say, you know what? I own my mind. My mind don't own me. And then once I did that so many times, even though I was just lying to myself, well, I wasn't. I actually was telling the truth. But at the moment, I felt I was lying to myself because I didn't believe that. But yet I kept telling myself. And as I kept doing that, I got stronger. And then eventually, I don't have panic attacks no more. I walk away and I catch myself. And if they start coming on, I stop them before they even happen because I could feel it first in my body. And then it goes to my mind. So I can relate to where Kendall says her body first. Because it does. For me, it did also. Because I felt the symptoms. Now they're just menopause and hot flashes. But at the end of the day, I think I'd rather have menopause and hot flashes than the PTSD and trauma. Secrets of the Moon, did you answer this question? Secrets of the Moon, did you answer this question? Okay.
Man.
What's the next question? Everybody's having issues.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What did you answer this question? Do you feel it in your mind or your body? Okay.
Oh, dang it.
Go to the next question.
Going to the next question. Sorry, secrets. What coping strategies have helped you calm down in high stress moments?
What coping strategies help me calm down in high stress moments? I'm going to say to you, like I said, that right there was one of them. I had to control my mind, and I had to say, I got this. I said, I'm more powerful than that. I had to really just be able to realize that that moment was just a moment, and it was only dark because I was in the middle of the storm. It didn't make or break me. It didn't change my life. And because of that, I'm stronger now. Now someone could sit to me and just scream in my face. and I will not match their energy. I will stay calm. I had to learn that though, and it was little steps at a time. It was nothing overnight. Secrets of the Moon, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What coping skills did you have to overcome or to learn?
Um, Coping skills that I had to learn. Um, I had to learn to go with the flow. Um, Sometimes being so like set and prepared and kind of OCD about things can bring more anxiety to me. So kind of learning to go with the flow with things. That's something that I've had to learn. Um, that's one of my coping skills as well. So not being so stern about the patterns that I've already lived with, creating new ones.
Gilly,
Well,
what coping skills?
I've had both healthy and unhealthy. I think some of my unhealthy coping patterns that did in a sense in the moment work, constantly on my phone playing games, um to get myself out of my mind or to get myself out of that moment. um Disassociation, like I mentioned earlier, was a major um coping strategy of mine. But dancing, walking, um sometimes playing the guitar, writing, um if I'm sometimes I'm really hyper focused on what people are saying, but not just what they're saying, but sort of the emotion behind it. um and It's a conscious effort of reminding myself that this is not towards me or about me, and really trying to focus in on them and what they're trying to express, removing myself from the situation. I think because I was, a full-time mom for so long, there are a lot of times that um, I had to stay calm. And so I essentially would really focus in on the moment, really focus in on what was going on in the moment, and not all the other things that were happening. So staying present, staying mindful, and sometimes I would cleaning was another coping strategy of mine. Cleaning, organizing, making something better, fixing it. Um, Basically anything to get the focus outside of my own thoughts, out of my own repetitive thoughts, um, and just really, I mean, making an effort to not react, even if I was reacting internally.
Wow. Just dip right out. Manager?
Yes, I have to reconnect Instagram. So what's yours?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what was going on. What coping strategy would help calm down in high stress moments? Um, anything art. If you love art, whatever it is. I mean, Hank Hill loves propane. He works his ass off, but he loves propane, so it's not work to him. It's art. If you focus on whatever you're meant to do, that's going to be good. What coping strategies have I learned is throwing myself into either music or writing or any of those types of things. I don't know. Let's say doing yoga. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I do, but we spend a lot of time trying to force ourselves into little boxes that society wants us to. And in the back of your head, you're just saying, well, I just want to dance, or I just want to play guitar, or I just want to do this. You're not doing that enough. At the end of the day, you're meant to lead a happy life. That's what your life is given. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be comfortable with the gift of sentience that we're given. So, yeah, anything that makes me feel like I'm doing what the universe is asking me to. And usually that involves breaking away from the thing that's irritating the hell out of me. The principle of putting the video game down when you keep losing over and over and over again applies to just about everything in real life that I've found. And giving it a break, coming back to it, giving yourself grace, breathing, and redirecting your thinking is just key to that for me. And I just lounging around the house naked playing guitar, can't go wrong. Whatever. I'm transparent.
I picked up, and we talked about this before, and I picked up humming. I've learned that humming is a huge coping skill to me. And here's Kendall's. You can read Kendall's real quick.
I'll read Kendall's real quick. Coping skills today. I wish I was able to participate with a vendor at the markets today for a good cause, for helping kids go back to school during face painting. And I sold another painting today. Congratulations, Kendall. That was great. That making good connections in the communities. There you go. All right. Going for walks, prayer, music, and writing.
Like I said, I've learned humming, and I do it quite frequently. I don't even do it when I'm agitated anymore. I don't do it really as a coping mechanism anymore because I became so comfortable with it that I just randomly do it now. And it helps though, because it's a form of meditation to me. It's a form of allowing that frequency to move throughout my body. And I hum at different tones and different atoms in my brain and in my, underneath for different reasons. And they keep things inside of me moving properly. So I've learned that. I've learned humming and telling myself I only can control myself. Everything outside of myself is none of my business. I can only control me. Riley said, hello, Riley. Hello, my friend.
Hi.
Hello, my friend.
Where's the comment?
Right here. Riley is the one that's going to make that TikTok song, song about the TikTok. Yeah, Riley, her nephew.
That Riley. Okay. Hi, Riley. Yes, it was a pleasure having you on. It was fun.
So, secret to the moon or Gilly, what are your coping skills?
I think I was already starting on them before I got cut off.
Yes.
But another one is, for instance, I had mentioned I swell, I break out in hives, and something that would help me is when a friend or a partner would just rub my back. It would decrease all the physical symptoms. Playing with my kids was a big one. Playing with my kids was a real big one. Taking care of them, taking care of other people. Watching something funny. Comedy is a real big one. Laughing with a stranger or a friend. accomplishing something, learning something new, mastering a new skill. Well, I wouldn't say master. I'm a jack of many trades, but a master of none. And trying again.
So since we're getting down to the wire, let's ask Chili Mo, welcome. What do you think are what coping strategies has helped you calm down in high stress moments?
You know what? As I'm sitting here today in the dark, I say during the day I like to read books. That'll help. And then at night I just turn everything off, including my phone, unless I'm tapping into Unseen Twisted Truths, the People's Podcast, formerly known as Unseen Twisted Truths. But honestly, reading, I think reading is a good way to cope for my high frequency moments. And sometimes having a conversation with somebody, you can get a high frequency moment. And you'll have to process and relax and allow your brain to reset. So I would advise, if I was to give any kind of recommendations to people that need outlets, pick up a good book. It could start with a childhood book that you used to read when you was in elementary. I still like Cat in the Hat books too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say read more and listen less.
So let's get into the last thing, because then we're gonna do positive thoughts. How do you think that we can better support people who feel stuck in certain loops, in these loops? We're gonna ask Gilly, what do you think we could do better?
For starters, believe them. Believe that what they're experiencing is real to them. Take them seriously when they're saying that they need help, and be willing to sit with the hard stuff. Be willing to sit with them, but not let them sit there forever. Be willing to take their hand and and take them outside sometimes. Walk with them.
Secrets of the Moon. What can we do better to help people that are stuck in the loops? I honestly don't think Secrets of the Moon's with us for real, for real.
It happens.
Chili Mo, what do you think we can do better?
I think we should sit more amongst each other. Get rid of the social media. Get rid of the digital world, and actually sit in a physical setting. You know, maybe a campfire. Maybe go outside and get a nice wooded area or a forest or somewhere, and we just have a bonfire. I think we need to sit and rationalize and recreate moments that we dream of. I think we need to do more. Um, Also, we can start with positivity every time we see someone. If you lock eyes with someone, say something positive to that person. As Gil was saying, you have to be intentional with how you want a person to feel, and vice versa. So just to engage in a positive manner is what we should begin and lead in with.
Okay. Moon Tortoise, what can we do different?
Honestly, what we can do for people is to tell them to quit crying and work harder. No, that's why we're stuck in this problem we have right now. Let's reverse engineer this back. Being practical. I think from what I've observed, being there for them, but also respecting boundaries is a good thing. Basically, how you're just supposed to treat one another normally. I can agree with sitting down and getting off the phones and having more public think tanks and stuff to provide compassion. But really, yeah, what we can do is just observe. Let's just say, just assume everyone you meet in public has some kind of trauma associated with them. And, you know, you don't have to coddle them, but just be nice. And then if you notice that they're going through something, or maybe you went through something, or just learn to be adaptive. I don't understand how it's so hard to just exhibit and show compassion in this day and age. And for one, I will end this by respecting the pace. My whole thing is I like wisdomly sage of the road. Cool Vibes introduces Chili Mo. Last time I seen you, you were in like this big ass flashy suit, and it was badass. I loved it. But I like that. You look like you might pull a harmonica out, and you got some shit to do. I appreciate that. So I do like it. I do like it. Just lift people up.
You know what I've done before? I realized I had to, somebody extremely dear to me that I will love to the end of life. I had to block them. I had to distance them to allow them to sit in their self, to realize that they were causing danger to themselves and others. I really had to let them sit in it. I didn't keep them blocked forever, but I had to block them for a moment till they realized that they were toxic to me and themselves. And once I did that and I brought them back, they're different now towards me. It's not so dangerous, and I'm able to sit in their presence, and I don't feel intoxicated or over exhausted. And it's different. Sometimes you have to remove yourself, though. Sometimes you have to not be so accessible for certain people sometimes, but you got to read them first. You got to let them, you got to read them first. Don't just shut somebody out. But sometimes you got to remove yourself, though, too. So
It's practical.
let's do some positive, something positive. Gilly, tell me something positive that you've learned that you are going to do differently.
Oh, I don't learn. No.
All this. Gilly has very high expectations, which you all know.
Throughout life, what I have learned is that there are equal amounts of beauty and real ugliness in the world and in people. And if we look for the beauty in everybody, the ugliness even takes a different form. And there's hope.
Keep hope alive. Chili Mo, what have you learned that you want to pass on to someone else?
I want to start off and say it's okay to cry. The best form of release is actually filtering out if it's sweat. Sometimes it's even taking a number two. Excuse me for my bluntness, but I learned to sit and release. Is the passionate cry, and it can be happy. You don't have to be sad to cry, so don't get misconception. So yeah, I would tell anybody, don't be ashamed to be vulnerable.
Moon Tortoise, what have you learned that you want to pass on?
What? What have I learned that I want to pass on? You don't have to be your problems. You just be the person you want to be. It feels better. I don't know what else to say on that. My friend's calling me from prison.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. He
Go
can't
ahead.
be live on the air.
No, go ahead. Love you.
Go take it. I love you
Yes.
guys. Mwah.
Mwah. So, you know what? I've learned many things. I learned many things, and one of the things I learned is that you couldn't get to it.
Kicked it off, I think, because of the podcast.
Oh, I've learned many things in life, and this is what Kendall says, and this is what I learned. It's never too late to start over, Kendall said. I have learned that your wants, your dreams, and your goals doesn't have to be somebody else's, and it doesn't have to be tangible like other people may have. Never try to fit yourself into a box just so other people are comfortable. And when I learned that, I was able to grow more. I was able to exceed the limits that were put on, that I allowed myself to put on myself. I can't control no one else. I'm not going and growing through their traumas, so they don't have to become my burdens. And that was the greatest gift ever once I learned that. Peace and love, Jasmine Gray. Most beautiful person. And go check out Miss Gray on all streaming platforms. Telling
Too
you.
bad.
That's a beautiful soul right there. Beautiful soul.
Mm-hmm.
And very spiritual and very connected and very, very in tune. So thank you for everybody for tuning in. And may your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations. You can control that, you know? Even when you're in the storm. Ashe, everyone. Ashe.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people. Rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you. But with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to.